What's up, everybody? Welcome to a new episode of Anthony KT Wrestling. This is the second episode. In the last episode, I talked about one issue. I mean, not issue. I talked about one topic, which was Monday Night Raw when it debuts January 6th on Netflix. I am excited for that. I talked about the possible ads and commercials that they could show. And I talked about the length of the show as well. I'm excited for it. I'm still excited for it. I can't wait. But for today's episode of Anthony KT Wrestling, I normally I like to try and talk about at least one topic and stick on that for a couple minutes. Today I'm going to talk about two. First, I want to talk about what disappointed me and what excites me. So first off, let me talk about what disappoints me, and that's coming from AEW and this deal that they have with Warner Brothers Discovery. It's not the whole deal itself that disappoints me. It's just this one thing that disappoints me from the Warner Brothers Discovery deal with AEW, and that's their pay-per-views and them streaming on Max. You see, starting in the new year, when Max starts showing AEW pay-per-views, they will not be free. You will have to still, if you are a Max subscriber, you will still have to pay to watch their pay-per-views. It'll be at a discounted price, but you'll still have to pay to watch their pay-per-views. And that disappoints me because if you're a subscriber to Max, you shouldn't have to pay an additional price to watch their pay-per-views. And I don't like to compare pro wrestling companies and say this one's better than the other, because each pro wrestling company is different and is different for everybody. In the world of professional wrestling that we live in today, there are so many more options than there was when I was growing up in the late 1980s and in the 1990s, when you really only had two, WWF and WCW. And if you were lucky enough to get someone who had the tape and was trading it around for you to check it out yourself, you also had ECW or New Japan Pro Wrestling if you were able to get tapes of that too. Otherwise you just had the pro wrestling magazines. But in the world we live in today, pro wrestling, there are so many more options, and and I don't like to be someone who compares the companies, but I'm making the exception for this when I say that WWE is better at this than AEW is, because with WWE, as long as you are a Peacock subscriber, you are able to watch all their pay-per-views from the WWE side to the NXT side completely free. And that's awesome, and that is great. That is awesome. All you need is a Peacock subscription. It should be the same with AEW. As long as you are a Max subscriber, you should be able to watch their pay-per-views for free. Now, I know this is not new. I mean, if you're a Max subscriber, this kind of goes back to how it was in boxing. Like if HBO or Showtime was presenting a fight, like a boxing fight, was presenting a boxing match for you to watch. You still had to pay for it. You still had to go on pay-per-view to pay for it, even though HBO and Showtime was presenting it. So it's not new. It's not new or anything. It's just, I guess I'm just I guess I'm just disappointed. I guess for me, I'm just disappointed because when I thought of this deal, I went into this deal thinking in this mentality, since I'm a Peacock subscriber, I'm going to watch all the WWE NXT PLEs for free. I'm a Max subscriber. I'm thinking I was going to be able to watch every single AEW pay-per-view for free because I'm a Max subscriber, and that wasn't the case. And I guess I'm just disappointed in that, even though it's not something new. That this is something that both Showtime and both Showtime and HBO have done in the past. But I guess it's just still disappointing. I get in this world that I'm in professional wrestling that I've been in since 1987, that you would think that if you are a Max subscriber with AEW's new deal, you'd be able to watch all their pay-per-views for free on Max. But I guess not. And I guess that's just disappointing. I guess I'm still dealing with the hardship of that. And even though it's a discounted price, and you can still order them at a discounted price as long as you're a Max subscriber, I still think it should be free. And but leave something in the comments and let me know if I'm the only one in thinking in that way, or if you think so too. Anyway, so that would disappoint me. What has me excited is also on the AEW side, and that's what's been going on with Jon Moxley and his new crew, and the stories they've been telling. Ruthless, this is my company. We're taking AEW back to how it used to be. It's like this whole thing that's involving everyone in the locker room, at least on the men's side, and it's interesting. It's kind of like an invasion angle within the company itself, but the way it's being told with Jon Moxley and the people in his new faction is some good storytelling. I'm really enjoying it. I'm really entertained. It's really got my eyes locked in it, not knowing what's going to happen. And I'm very curious, and I'm very excited with the Hurt Syndicate, once known as the Hurt Business, now in AEW, and the little more freedom they have to do what they want to be able to do with that. It's just getting off the ground, but I'm very, very excited, and I've got some high hopes for what can happen with this faction now in AEW, and what they've already started to do with Swerve Strickland, and what I'm looking forward to what it's going to be happening when it moving forward. Going to the WWE side, start with Crown Jewel. Crown Jewel was great. I enjoyed Crown Jewel. What's going on with the Bloodline and Solo Sikoa pinning Roman Reigns after those two Samoan spikes, really taking the title off of himself from being the self-proclaimed tribal chief, and really proving himself to be the one true tribal chief. Everyone knows when you put the one up, we're talking Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns is the original tribal chief. He is the head of the table. He's the man. That's my dude, tribal chief. You know how we do. But I'm loving the story that's being told with the self-proclaimed tribal chief. Side note, speaking of self-proclaimed tribal chief, I have a blog called Let's Talk Wrestling. I'm in the middle of this series that I'm kind of been doing, called the Self-Proclaimed Tribal Chief, where I'm following, really talking about Solo Sikoa's rise and everything that's happening in between of this certain point of the Bloodlines book in a whole. And so I've got part 1 and part 2. They're available now on my AKT Publishing WordPress page. So go ahead and check it out there. Link is in the bio for both parts. Part 3 will be something that will come out after some Survivor Series and an episode of SmackDown. So once I got those two, once I got those two parts written in, then I will release part 3. Part 3 is going to be big. It's going to be a big one because it starts at part 3 starts at SummerSlam. It kind of goes. So it's like end of the summer into the fall, and a little right before the winter. So like first week of probably December is when that will be released. But anyway, go ahead and check those 2 parts out of the Self-Proclaimed Tribal Chief. Links in the bio for those. Part 3 will be out December. Anyway, so back to Crown Jewel. The Bloodline story is doing great. What happened after that with the chaos, and with Sami Zayn kind of injecting himself into that chaos. There's about 3 to 4 weeks left before we get to War Games, Survivor Series. and what's going to happen in that time as we build to that. I'm excited for it. I'm looking forward to what's going to happen. All in between there, and that's stuff that's going to carry on through Raw and SmackDown. So what happens on both those shows, at least when it comes to the Bloodline side of the story, because you got Jay and Sammy on Raw. Yeah. Anyway, excited for it. Can't wait for it. Both Crown Jewel championship matches I really enjoyed. Gunther versus Cody Rhodes was a hell of a match. God damn. Cody Rhodes, second person this year to beat Gunther. Wow. What a match. Hell of a match. I enjoy that match. Good for Cody Rhodes for making a little history for himself, becoming the first Rhodes to win a championship in another country. Awesome. And Liv Morgan, I'm very excited for her. I'm happy for Cody Rhodes and getting this win, but Liv Morgan, really, just when you look at the match and after she getting the win and going through the whole presentation, the championship presentation, getting the ring, very emotional for her. Very, to watch how she started in NXT, backwards hat, you only live once, to the going all the way up through, going through different factions and tag teams, and then finding herself through all of that. And now this character that she's in right now, this heel character, this brutality, Liv Morgan revenge tours. I'm enjoying it. I'm loving every second of it. The rise and being able to watch it, it's been incredible. And I'm so happy for her to be at this moment. And this moment that she had, it really felt like she won a main event championship match at a WrestleMania. And it's got like a WrestleMania moment feel to it for her. And I'm just so excited for her. And and as far as the story goes, especially between her and Rhea Ripley and what she did to Rhea Ripley last Tuesday on SmackDown, damn. And the match that will eventually happen between those two, it's got brutality written all over it. I don't know if they're going to be in a cage. I don't know if it's going to be a last woman standing match, an Iron Woman match. It could be the second. For all I know, it could be the second time the women have a casket match. I don't know. I don't know what kind of match they're gonna have. It's definitely gonna be some kind of stipulation. But it's gonna be insane, and I'm looking forward to that match. But I'm so excited for Liv and what she's accomplished at Crown Jewel. So happy for her. And I'm also excited for NXT 23 this Wednesday. I'm excited for it. The setup that they did for it and the matches. We got Bubba Ray in a tag match. You got Rob Van Dam, who's going to be involved. It's definitely going to be involved in a match in some way. I'm guessing it's going to be special guest referee. And then you got Dawn Marie coming back on WWE TV for this ECW type thing in the arena. She's going to be a special guest referee in the match as well. I'm pretty sure there are going to be more surprises to happen on this episode of NXT 2300 this Wednesday. Now it's on Wednesday because this Tuesday is the election, so they want to make sure that they know that a number of people's attention is going to be on the election this Tuesday, so they flip it over to Wednesday. No big deal. It's still going to be a good night. NXT 2300. I'm excited for it. That'll do it. My disappointment with this AEW Warner Brother Discovery deal with you, even if you're a Max subscriber, you still have to pay for AEW pay-per-views. Granted, it's at a discounted price, but you shouldn't have to pay for it. A pay-per-view if you're a Max subscriber, but it is what it is. And I guess I just needed to vent that out and get that out. But it just is what it is, I guess. But doesn't mean I have to like it. So anyway, and the stuff I'm excited for. There's two stories that I'm really thinking about in AEW with the Syndicate, with the Hurt Syndicate, and then the Moxley and and his crew. Was going on with those two is incredible. I'm loving every second of that. I'm really into it. Also, you know what? I'm going to add Christian Cage and this what's going on kind of in the background with that, and the moment, and waiting for that moment when he'll cash that in and become AEW World Champion. I know it's going to happen. It's the when he came back to AEW when he came back to professional wrestling, he went to AEW. That was the thing he was after the most. I feel like his moment to be AEW champion is coming, and I'm excited to see it for him. Really excited to see it for him. And what's going on NXT 2300? Looking forward to that. The Crown Jewel stuff. I was really excited for that. So that's what that's what I've been excited about. That was my disappointment. I am Anthony. This has been Anthony KT Wrestling. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like. Don't forget to subscribe to keep up with all new episodes of Anthony KT Wrestling when they drop. Don't forget to also check out Storytime with the Anthony KT. That's on my channel as well. But that'll do it. I'll see you on the next one. Peace, y'all.